Not everyone is wired the same, that's for sure. But I'd like to talk about my experience with art block/art burnout, because I thought that it would never happen to me, somehow. The truth is, it did, but not in the way I usually heard it described. Maybe it didn't hit me hard enough yet, but since I never felt such creative fatigue before, I felt a bit scared for my future. I should probably start by mentioning that I'm in art school right now, with a pretty heavy curriculum. But I'm thriving in it most of the time. I like to receive a lot of creative assignments that I can organize and even adapt to my characters. I'm the type of person who enjoys having dozens of to-do lists and checking boxes after boxes all year long. Hell, the making of this video is made of boxes to check on a paper. But after a whole year of art assignment, drawings for Instagram, a sketchbook, finishing 142 panels for my comic and 2 animated films, art just became that. Boxes to check. Of course, here and there I took a few days off, got outside to touch grass, or at least the pavement, and talk to human beings, but no amount of distraction could make me enjoy drawing again like I used to. The most obvious example of this weird state of mind I was in at that moment was my dead imagination. I couldn't get anything out of me to put it on paper. I could think about stuff, but the connection between my head and my hand wasn't here anymore. Now that's my way of measuring my creative health. You just look at how cluttered your margins are with doodles. You know, any spaces of white paper you could feel the need to fill out while listening to something. In my first year of art school, these margins were covered in ink. Sometimes I would even ignore parts of the lecture, just so I have enough place to draw. Thinking about it, I've done this since middle school. But in my second year of art school, it was empty. And soon my sketchbook stopped receiving new drawings as well. My surroundings were being drained of their doodles and little miracles of art who used to flourish daily before. So yeah, I didn't feel like creating anything. That doesn't mean I could stop making art though. I still had those boxes to check. But once I completed all my school assignments, what was I left with? Well, thank myself I had my comic, and that's a whole lot of empty boxes to check. It's never ending. So despite the lack of passion, I still managed to stick to a routine. I guess writing myself something to do on a paper makes it so official, so important, that most of the time I can't help but do it. Woohoo, I'm a slave artist to my notes. So I was still productive, but damn, is that it? Drawing with the heart of an AI for the rest of my life? It has been going on like this for months now, and I still couldn't go back to my old ways. Until I visited some friends over the summer. And I gotta say, their home in itself is an artist oasis. There's creative boards, stickers, paintings, everything is colorful, fun, and spacious. I already feel inspired every time I come here. But this time I was deep into my robotic approach to art. So when we started a drawing/game challenge, I didn't know how it would turn out. Little did I know, this dumb, easy challenge that consisted of drawing anything based on a word just unlocked something in me. I wasn't on my graphic tablet, I was on paper, with a marker. No sketch, no plan, just going straight to the point. All these months of passionless art, it felt like I've been meticulously building a bridge over a ravine each time I had to draw. I would build the foundation, make sure the structure is stable for each new brick, and only when everything is done and polished, I would cross the bridge and go to the next ravine on my to-do list, aka the next drawing. But with this marker challenge, I just jumped. Fuck safety, fuck structures, let's have fun, goddammit. And can you believe it? I survived. I even made some decent drawings. Or at least they were fun. A little later, my other friend joined us, and we spent the whole evening drawing quick illustrations with each word. And it was so fun. I was feeling the happiness of creating again. It was amazing. I can show you a few pages of this mess. It's really stupid, but the themes were very personal to us. It was references, jokes, etc. So we had a blast. I owe this experience to Frelon. He's working on a comic too, and his work is so vibrant and sincere, you should really check it out. Actually, it's part of my advice. Engage with artists, have fun with your art friends, and try out art challenges. And maybe have a passion project that you won't finish within a year. This way you never run out of ideas. It's really this chill art challenge and my comic that filled me with motivation during this draining time. Staying consistent wasn't a problem for me, The usual advice about discipline and organization works well on me. I'm not going to insult you by repeating it. Making a to-do list doesn't work for every brain, and maybe some of y'all have the opposite problem. You may struggle with organization and finishing a piece, but the passion and joy is always there. And for you guys, I hope you find your miracle solution. Just be careful to also cherish this passion of yours, because when it's gone, it's pretty sad. I'm glad I found a way to nurture it back into my daily life. Social media are actually one of the reasons for it too. First, there's YouTube, who pushes me to draw whatever, just so you guys have something to watch. And then there's Instagram, and some art trends that inspires me with my OCs. The speed paint you're watching is actually an art challenge I stumbled upon on Instagram by Mocharu, for they kindly invited us all to their masquerade so long as our OCs follows the dress code. So of course I decided I would send Ellen and her reluctant assistant Morgan. By the time this video will be posted, we should know the winner of the contest. If I have the results, I'll write them down in a pinned comment or in the description. I didn't even notice it was a contest at first. I just saw draw your OC with a mask on and I went straight to sketching. When I went back to check the deadline, I noticed you could win a commission. That's a nice bonus, though I'm happy enough with just the opportunity to draw my characters this way. Like I said, my best arts passion unlocker is a good, low-stakes art challenge, and I'm really curious to see everyone else's drawing. I haven't looked at them yet. I guess I can now that I finished mine. I won't show any of the drawings because they might not want their stuff in video, but I thought I could give a few comments while I look through the entries. The hashtag in question is mocha_masquerade, if you want to check it out for yourself. So let's go. At the time I'm looking at it, there's a lot of characters drawn traditionally, so on paper. It didn't even cross my mind. People are choosing great colors. Oh, there's even one that's kind of in a vectorized style, like lineless and very clean. I'm seeing animal masks, mainly crows and rabbits. It's like the two genders of a masquerade. I'd be more on the crow side, though rabbit is very cute. I'm seeing Phantom of the Opera style, Venice masks. Oh, there's even someone who made an animation of a mask spinning around the head of their character. That's so cool. I'll do an easy blend-in if I post it in a reel, because I do want to show the face underneath at some point. Just look at how much time I spent on it. I mean, you can't really see how long something takes, it's super sped up. Just assume that if it's the same step for more than a few seconds, I struggled, or I was indecisive. I always wonder if the speed paint I show isn't too erratic or all over the place. I try to crop my canvas on the specific area I'm drawing on, so you can see better and have some kind of focus point. I know I like to look back at my speed paint, but I want to slap me in the face at the same time, like, just draw the damn thing, stop erasing or going back. You're not going anywhere with this. Like with Morgan's mask. Just look at this chaos. I like how it turns out in the end, especially with the colors. You know, raccoons are an important thing in his story. If you stumbled upon my older drawings of him, it represents a lot of things, let's say. It also appears in the first chapters of my comic Thorn of Eden that you can find on my Patreon if you're interested. For Ellen, the fox suits well, and maybe it'll mean something in the future. I'll let you know. At first I thought about making the whole illustration with a color palette of white and blue, like they're almost out of this world in space, but I love their combination of red and blue too much. They exchange a little bit of each other's colors in their masks too. And in the end I still kept the idea of out of this world in space in the background, you'll see. To be honest, the whole challenge was an excuse to draw them in different hairstyles too. The slick back hair for men when they go to a fancy event is a trope I really enjoy. I really treat my characters like supermodels. I dress and pose them as I please. And today it's for a masquerade. You know, I look at my illustration right now and I'm pretty happy with it, but I can't help but notice that I drew the champagne bottle the exact same way I've been drawing every alcohol bottle for the last 7 years. And maybe I should work on my props a little bit. At least I drew the right glass for the right alcohol. Some years ago I drew red wine in a cup made for champagne. It's a bit embarrassing when someone points at it, but they were absolutely right. I'm glad I know the craft of my cultural alcoholism much better now. This way I shall not disrespect my country again. Speaking of alcohol, you can notice that I really tried to render the liquid this time. I had a reference photo to help, I hope it looks convincing. It's crazy how many contrasts and colors can be found in a material that's not solid. There is also some layer effect. I think the base color for the champagne is set on multiply, and the rest of the details are on separate layers. I used this little training in the jewelry as well as Morgan's jacket. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I gave him an earring. A single earring, and that's my favorite detail about his design. He looks so good and I'm so proud. Then I went with the shadows and light. Having a big ball of light to remember where's the light source is a tip I got from one of my assignments. We had to implement a character in different environments using the layer effect to make them blend in. And our teacher put this type of lights around the character to signal where the light source was coming. Of course, I used an old drawing of Morgan. That's the type of assignment I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It's a bit tedious and we have so many of them, but we often have the opportunity to use it with our own characters or in our own universe, if it is a background, you know. I recommend you to do it, to implement things you like inside your assignments, whether you're in art school or anywhere else. It makes everything more appealing. It makes working for school more appealing. So I hope you enjoyed the spit paint as well as the commentary, and thank you for watching.